Okay, now let's talk about adding vertex labels. So you see I have some labels here. How do we add labels to the vertices? Okay, so sometimes you have many columns in here, and you can show or hide certain columns just to make the workbook a little bit easier to read. And you can do that in the Show Hide section. You click here, and there are different sections that you can show. So I can show the layout section, which I'm not showing now. So that's a new set of columns there. Or I can not show it. I'm showing the label section here, but I can choose not to. Now it's not shown, and so on. So that's just one way to make it a little easier to read. Oops, did I do that wrong? Labels, not layout. So the first thing you need to do in order to make a label is to decide what you want the labels to be. So if you want the labels to be the actual names in the of the vertices, like I have here, you could have the labels be anything you want, but if you want them to be the names of the vertices, you need to put under this label here, you need to put those in. And you can just copy from here and paste there. That's one way to do it. Or you can do the autofill. And say that you want the vertex label to be from the vertex. And then just autofill that. Okay? So that's the first thing you need to do. And now if you want, instead of having the label here on the side like it is here, you might want to do this. You can have the label be like the shape. So I'll show you what that means. So if you click on here in any of these, and you click there, and you choose here, the shape is going to be the label. So right now the shape is a circle, but like, let's see, if we want to change it to square, what's that going to do? Change that to square and refresh. So over here you have a square, but I don't want that. I want the shape here, you click here, to be the label. So I do that, and now I refresh it, and I have that. So the shape is actually the label. Okay, and you can do that for all of them. You can just copy it down. That, like that, and then refresh it. And you get this. So you might want that effect, and that's how you can do that. Okay, so you make the shape the label. However, that kind of obscures a little bit the size, I guess, of the vertices. So I'm not sure if it really obscures it completely, but for example, what happens if we make this big? What will happen? Let's make that size 8 and refresh it. Oh, it does make it bigger, but still maybe it's a little bit less clear. So instead you might want the labels on the side like I just had it before this. So to do that, first you delete this, or you clear it. So clear the contents of here. And you can but keep the information here in the label column, keep that information there. So you're going to still have the labels, but they're not going to be represented as the shapes. And now you refresh, and you have that. Now for some reason I seem to be able to move these around, so you can manually move them, and I've just moved that one. And one more thing you might want to do is change the width of the edges, and I just clicked on the options box and I got the width here, and I can change it and see what that does. Yeah, maybe I don't want it quite that much. this dark. That. Now you can also add, instead of having the label here, you can have it as a tooltip. And then you would click here. And you would click tooltip. Here, vertex tooltip. And you could also set that to be the vertex name. Or we could have it be the age. We could have it be something else. For example, hours slept. So now when I use the tooltip, this person slept 7 hours. And sometimes you might want to have an actual label on the edge itself, and you can also do that from the autofill columns. So you might have another column over here, like we have many columns, the vertex name and the color, and we have the age, and we have the prior parties, and we have the arrows. Might have another thing called the package that they delivered, or the present that they gave them. Let's say the present. So this might be the present that Ed gave Gary when he invited Gary, or something like that. So you could have the name of a present here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and that would be for each, oh sorry, that would be for each vertex, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, whatever, you can add labels to the edges as well. So maybe this doesn't exactly make sense, but you could do edge label here. There's nothing to add. Okay, so it must be in the edges field that you have to make some entries. So maybe here you have to click on the edges field and add your own columns here, and then, so here I could say, like, here was a, let's try it. So now I've put in some presents that people have given to, so Anne gave Bob a book, and so on. So now I guess we could go back and do this autofill. And do that. And we would have something like that. Okay, so that's labeling an edge. And now we're actually done with this example, and so you might want to save a NodeXL file. And to save the NodeXL file, you save it just like you would any other Excel file, making sure though to select a standard Excel workbook with the XLSX extension, and don't save it as a 97-2003 workbook or a macro enabled workbook or a binary workbook. So you just save it in the normal way and save it. Okay, that's all.